So, our objective now is to make the ABT go viral, which I've been told will never, ever, ever, ever happen. And maybe that's true, but maybe it's not. Maybe we just haven't found the right approach yet. So, to make an attempt, because that's all you can do is try, and see if anything works, see if anything gets you directionally where you want to go. We are going to attempt to make a YouTube short that will go viral. And to do that, first, we have to get through the idea generation and script writing stage, which is so powerful. There's nothing worse than the blank piece of paper. Oh my God, it's the worst. Oh my God. But we've already made a start. So let us take a look at what we have done so far as of last time. I'll crop this a little bit. There we go. That's much better. Okay. So last time, we were just trying to figure out who our audience was, like really, who we should start targeting. And two different potential targets. One, the scientific community. That's what Randy, my business partner, has been like doing for the past like decade or more. Or we could be a little bit more general than that and just go after people who are just struggling with problems. People who like solving problems but don't always know the best way. They're dealing with work, social, relationship problems. They need some focus in some aspect. Age-wise, we're probably talking like late 20s to early 30s. Then these are types of people who are like looking for mental hacks for more productivity, or maybe they're going after self-help. There's an important concept that we always have to keep in the back of our minds. It's that whenever we're trying to get someone on board, get someone to pay attention to a fix or solution that we have, we first need to clarify with them that they have a problem in the first place. Like, we know what your problem is. We understand it. Like, no, seriously, you have a problem. We have actually a 3-part saying that comes from the business world. Our business advisor to the ABT course, Park Howell, and in his Business of Story podcast, he says you can break this down into 3 parts. Find the hurt that the customer has, amplify their pain, and heal their wound. So find their hurt. There's a problem that you have. You're not using the ABT. You're unfocused. You're kind of stumbling through life. Amplify the pain, and it is making you miserable. Your life could be so much better. Therefore, we're going to heal the wound, introduce you to the ABT so that you can use it to restructure your life and make things better. So we need to be clear in these shorts that whether they're for more productivity or self-help, we need to be clear with the audience that they have a problem. We know what their problem is. We're going to specify what their problem is, and we're going to give them a solution. Therefore, we're going to give you this tool. It's going to help you in all these different ways. It'll give you clarity. Okay. So we've kind of got an idea of who our audience is. People who are looking for mental hacks, or people who are looking for self-help. People who are a little bit behind are looking for ways to get ahead. And we kind of went over some of the ABT fundamentals that we like teach in the course, that like concepts that might help. Maybe we can include them or make videos on them. Maybe it's a little bit too much. But things to maybe keep in the back of our head. We have the Dobzhansky template, which is nothing using the ABT makes sense except in light of achieving clarity. So that might be the one kind of concept we need to like focus on in these videos again and again, that using the ABT will help you achieve clarity. And for those of you who don't know, the regular Dobzhansky template is nothing in blank makes sense except in the light of blank. This is a tool that we use to help you achieve clarity, like a singular focus on what's most important to you about a topic. Whether that topic is a conservation movement or that topic is yourself. And in your life, you kind of start off with the default mode of thinking in and I have this problem, 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 and that's kind of chaotic. And that's not where you want to be. The ABT helps to give you clarity by structuring your thoughts. And here is where I have just over this past week, 2 weeks, really since the Seattle trip to GH Labs, over the past 2 weeks, I've developed this new way of thinking about the ABT when it comes to everything from environmental causes to self-help. It's this new sort of structure. Now, I was using the structure of the Matthew template, which is earth and heaven, but hell, therefore action. You tell us your earth, what your starting state is, like who you are, where you're at in life, kind of what the general topic is going to be about. And you tell us how good things could look if everything goes according to plan. And I love that I did this. I figured this out on my own years, literally years before I heard anything about solution-focused therapy. I'm so proud of myself. Pat on the back, Matthew. So you give us the topic and you tell us how good things could look, but hell, you're currently in this current present-day hell situation. Therefore, you need to take an action to get out of this current hell and toward your heaven. I think that's great, and I think it's all the emotional beats that are needed, but I think it takes too much explaining. way too much explaining. It's still not quite to that level of simplicity that I wanted. And I've seen this. I've seen this time and time again in our clients, even with the Matthew template. Their heaven isn't that heavenly. It's still not that well structured. It still could use... It still needs to focus really on what the end result is, on what the goal is. And I think that is our key word. And that's certainly a key word in solution-focused therapy as well. So instead of the Matthew template, and I don't know what to call this new one yet, but it is goal, but obstacle, therefore action. Maybe I can call it Goa. Goal, but obstacle, therefore action. Go. But no, that's still not working for me. Go, but obstacle. Yep. Oh well, we'll think of the name for this one of these days. That's the thing I really suck at, like thinking of names for things. It's the worst. Okay, goal, but obstacle, therefore action. So the first thing that you need to do when structuring your narrative is figure out what your goal is. And this is what people constantly get completely backwards. The usual incorrect way of doing a narrative is, let's see, probably set up, but problem, therefore goal. No. Because this isn't really actionable. And that's what this one is. Actionable. We can take actual actions because of this. When we have a goal, but we see an obstacle that's in our way. Therefore, we need to take this specific action to get past the goal, or past the obstacle to our goal. Goal, but obstacle, therefore action. Action to get through the obstacle to our goal. And we're laying out first why we're going on this journey in the first place. This is screenwriting 101. You make it clear to your audience as early as possible what the protagonist cares about, what they would like to see happen in the world, what they're aiming for, what they're going to be aiming for over the course of the movie. You do a screenplay, a movie has 3 acts, and before you're done with act 1, you have the goal for the protagonist crystal clear in the audience's mind. Hollywood 101, right? Everyone else who has not been trained in goal setting does it completely backwards. Well, first off, They overload you with the problems first, and then they'll tell you the goal, but they won't even they won't go into any specifics with the goal, and they won't give you like specific actions on how to achieve the goal. We're working on this thing setup, but everything about it sucks. Therefore, we need to make it not suck. Well, how? How do you make it not suck? And that's not really mentioned usually. And that's what this is all about. So this is not actionable. Which drives me crazy. So the first hardest concept we have is to teach people to put the goal first. Focus on the goal. Focus on how good things can be. And you're like, why? Why do we need to focus on the goal first? What's the point of that? Can't we just throw the goal in anywhere? Or just half-ass the goal? Isn't the problem more effective? So there's this research article called Compassion Fade by scientist named Paul Slovic, who's looking into things that motivate us to action. Bottom line, what motivates us to action for like humanitarian causes is knowledge that what we're going to do will bring about some kind of big positive change. Oh, if we donate to this, we're going to save lives because of the new water treatment plant. We're going to save like 10,000 lives because of the new water treatment plant. That's the goal. But you can't do that because you don't have the money to do that. Therefore, all I need to do is donate. These are the humanitarian aid causes that seem to work, that seem to get somewhere. Kiva is a great example of this. Oh, you need to create a small marketplace in your village that has like goods for the community to use. That's what you're doing. You're going to create this marketplace with goods for people to use, improve everyone's lives. But your obstacle is you just need a little bit of money to get started. Like you have the plan and everything, but you just can't get started because of a little bit of cash. Therefore, all you need is some cash. Well, great. I'll donate. I'll help to that cause. This gets us somewhere. This gets us some action. And people like to see that the actions they take get us to this big, glorious goal that they're going after. People jump on board with that. If people just talk about the problems and overwhelm an audience with the problems or overwhelm themselves with the problems, Paul Slovic says we go into a state of psychic numbing, where we just kind of shut down. Like, oh, got millions of people dying overseas. Oh, well, the world sucks. What can we do? I could donate towards saving 10,000 lives overseas. Like there's 10,000 lives that will be improved, that will live, that will not die of dehydration. But you just don't have the money for it. That's it. Like a little bit of money, and that would save them. So all I have to do is donate. Well, let's do that. That's what brings about change in the world. Not so much this. And sometimes this is even worse. It's not setup, but problem, therefore goal. It's setup. It's even more vague than a goal. It's a conclusion. It's like a logical conclusion. Like here's what our topic is, but there's a problem. Therefore, in conclusion, something needs to be done about it. Like super vague, super non-actionable. God, we see that all the time in our clients. These aren't therapy clients. These are like some of the world's top scientists and conservationists and global health leaders who don't give us anything actionable. Don't give themselves anything actionable. They're not clear on it. Whew, boy. So our actionable thing that we need to figure out to do is how to make this go viral. I think that's what kind of this is all about. How to make it viral. How to make this thing that will restructure your thinking to give you actionable plans toward wonderful goals. How can we make that go viral? Well, by talking about what makes it interesting, how it, let's see, what does the audience value? How does the ABT speak to their values? So it's used by the creators of South Park. That's good for those who, the value there is, I think South Park is cool. If they value South Park and they value the creative process, oh, that's also another way to put it. Value the creative process. Then maybe including that in a viral short. Is necessary and good. Last time we talked about putting the Matthew template in. I don't think so. I think it's going to be this new template. The whatever we're going to call it template. It's going to be the goal but obstacle, therefore action template. This is what happens. You have a good idea at the writing session, like, oh, we're going to put in the Matthew template. And then you get home and you think about it, and you're in the shower, and you're like, nope, that's not going to work. It needs to be simpler. Goal but obstacle, therefore action template. It's a mouthful. We got to think of a better name. And it's about how the hero's journey can be applied to our audience's life. And not the Matthew template, but the goal template. Goal template. Let's just call it that for right now. And my research assignment over the break was research on data about how writing your story can help your life. Well, that one, oh, thank you, Dr. Diane Gerhardt, for helping me to answer that one. My God, solution-focused therapy. That is what we are already doing. Solution-focused therapy. Oh, that's probably a way that we can label this in YouTube videos, because that's basically what this is, solution-focused therapy. Help you achieve your goals. So, problem, stuck in life. Yeah, stuck in life, things aren't working out, directionless, unmotivated because you haven't thought about your goals and how good things could be if you went the right direction. Solution is SFT, solution focused therapy. So there's another kind of ABT fundamental that we haven't talked about yet. And we're actually kind of starting to talk about it here when we're talking about speaking to values. I'm realizing for any ABT, scientific, like for a science abstract, an executive summary, presentation, self-help, whatever, how important values are in creating ABTs. Like you see values in every narrative, any good, well-written narrative. I was talking about how, like, at the beginning of the movie, you can tell what the main character's goal is. And that goal, the reason it's their goal is because it is something that they value. Maybe they value saving people's lives, or making the world a better place, or improving themselves, or going out and adventuring for adventuring's sake, just to see the world. But there's something they value. And so because they value it, because you value the goal, you move toward the goal. if you're not moving toward the goal, you might have the wrong value or wrong goal. Oof, this is a tough one. This is a tough one. Because I've seen this. Why the underline? Why are you doing that? Oh, word. You're so silly. Alright, screw it then. Because you value the goal, you move toward the goal. If you're not moving toward the goal, you might have the wrong value or goal. Yeah, I've seen this before in the coaching program that I take part in. Not as a coach, but as a client. Over at Healthy Gamer GG. They've got, if you're looking for like a coaching program to help get you ahead in life, I highly recommend Healthy Gamer GG. They've got some great coaches over there. Or at least my coach is great. One of the things I see in other people in that program and in myself are how so often there's a problem with corrupted values. This goes back to the dominant narrative I was talking about from narrative therapy. So you might have imposed upon you this dominant cultural narrative or dominant family narrative of what you should want and what you should value and how you should be. Should. Yeah, the should narrative. And you try to live up to this dominant narrative. You try to live up to dominant narrative and the values that it has, but you don't actually have those values. The dominant narrative is about things that you actually do not care about, that you do not yourself value at a deep level. You've just kind of taken these values on by default. But you don't actually have these values. Therefore, you have to fix this by figuring out your own values. This is very, very, very core. You don't actually have these values. Therefore, you have to fix this by figuring out your own values step by step. To have a goal worth following, you need to be clear on what it is that you value. Man, so we could give them all the tools to create a narrative in the world, like all about the ABT, and they can follow that. But if they don't apply it to things that they actually value, that they actually care about at a deep level, just what these dominant values have imposed upon them, then they're screwed. Then people are screwed. So this is going to be the tricky part. Making sure that they don't have corrupted values. That the values are coming internally, not externally. From the big dominant cultural narrative or dominant family narrative or dominant work narrative or dominant whatever narrative. Now, sometimes they might be the same values. I mean, that's great. Like, if you share, like, all the values of, like, the dominant culture around you, great. But you might not. And that's where self-reflection comes from. What is with the... Okay. I just want to know where the underline's coming from. I bet that is a total glitch. We're just going to work through it for now. To have a goal worth following, you need to be clear on what it is that you value. And really, like, self-reflection is required for values. May have to teach value self-reflection. May have to research value self-reflection. I know a couple ways to do it that have worked for me. But really, this is the starting point. Like, if you don't know what your values are, if you don't know that you're following corrupt values, man, that's rough. Believe me, I know. Need to teach methods for self-reflection. You know, only I had some kind of resource to draw from. Some resource where I could just ask a question and figure out the answer. All right. What are some means of... what are some therapeutic means? I knew I was going to misspell that. What are some therapeutic means of helping people find their values? Fulfilling process, value clarification. Guided exercises to help individuals articulate what's most important to them. CBT therapy, right. Well, that's understanding how values influence their thoughts and action. That's the understanding how. I want the how to figure them out in the first place. Narrative therapy, okay. Yeah, rewriting narratives. Identify values. No, that's just by rewriting narratives. That's a good point. Like, just by examining the narratives that you have, putting those out, like really formally putting out what the narratives are that you're following, and really honestly asking yourself, yep, I like it. Blink. So, self-reflection, need to teach methods for self-reflecting, writing about current narratives, and reflecting on if you actually care about that narrative. Absolutely. All right. Why? That's so weird. Is it because that's there? It's probably because this is here. And this is permanently here? How did that even happen? Because I made the mistake of making a line by doing a bunch of underlines. And now some auto-formatty BS is just ruining my day. Okay. One fix for this. Oh, the cut didn't even work. Wow. Oh, it is messed up in there. This is potentially a corrupted Word file. All right, well, I'm going to just deal with this for now. And later on, I'm going to transfer this all into just a text document, wipe the formatting, create a new Word document, start from scratch. How dumb. How incredibly dumb. All right, I'm getting too sidetracked by the crappiness of Word. You should be Google Docs in the future. Yeah. Self-reflection is required for values. Need to teach methods for self-reflection. Writing about current narratives and reflecting on if you actually care about that narrative. That's good. Existential therapy. Explore issues like meaning, freedom, isolation, morality. Help clients to identify and live according to their authentic values. Well, this is a new one. I can't wait to see if Dr. Gerhardt has a video on existential therapy. This one I don't think has come across my radar, which is kind of amazing. What else we got? Mindfulness-based stress reduction and mindfulness-based cognitive therapy. Promote awareness in the presence of the moment, which can help clients better understand their core values. Okay, so this is meditation as a path for helping to understand. That's what I'm getting out of that. Journaling and reflective practices. Writing can be powerful for self-discovery. I mean, that's what we're telling them to do. Yes, this is a good one. Promoting clients to write about times when they felt fulfilled or authentic. Absolutely. They talk about this in narrative therapy as well. Dr. Gerhardt does. Such a good idea. Absolutely. Promoting client insights to write about times when they felt fulfilled or authentic can lead to insights about their true values. Yeah. Hey there, audience, getting clear on your values can get you unstuck in life. When's the last time you evaluated your values? Or have you ever? I like that a lot. Okay. Group therapy, yeah. Values clarification. This involves guidance exercise of individuals, articulate what's most important. Therapists might use lists of values, card sorting, reflective questions. Let's just copy all of this. I kind of had some of this in mind. All right, writing about current narratives and reflecting on what you actually care about. Yeah, this is kind of related to that, but just make it a category point. Man, yeah, this is a really important topic to cover, and it is going to be interesting to see if we can do it in a 1 minute or less YouTube short. Oh boy. Okay. Another thing that makes the ABT interesting, just on a practical level, one of our scientist friends, actually a machine learning expert, he is now using the ABT whenever he talks to technical support. Getting clear with them on what the goal is, like, and what the heaven scenario is, but there's this problem that just developed. Therefore, I think this is the action we need to take. Structuring tech support calls like that, he says, is like life-changing because it helps focus on just the one thing. You can talk about, you set up with like everything that's going right, how much you've enjoyed the product or service. It's been great. But here's the one problem that we're having now, the singular narrative. Therefore, help us. So practically uses a YouTube short on how to use the ABT for technical support. Man, that's great. Yeah. All right. So any of the videos, can be included on any video that this is used by creators of South Park. This ABT is used by creators of South Park. Okay. This might be enough for now because my brain is starting to get a little fried. But I think the goal for next time, the new action, is to take one of these ideas and start developing it into a script. Yes. yeah, I think that's it. And that is exactly what we will try to do.